It feels like I just posted the house tour of my trailer 2 months ago, and it's because 2 months ago I did post that. But I'm here at the new house in Washington. Hi, hello. Update. I moved across the country from Indiana to Washington, and today's video is the unpacking process. I would say this is like a part 2 to my moving across the country video. And today we are just gonna be going over the last like month of living here, unpacking everything, getting these rooms all set up, and making my house feel lived in, which I'm really excited for. So before I keep yapping, let's flash back to maybe like a month ago when I first moved in. We made it home, and we only really brought like our most fragile stuff with us in the minivan. So that's what all we've got out in the house until our pods get here and we can unpack them. You guys recently saw me and Brandon move from Indiana to Washington State, and now we're in a really cute rental home. And the people we rent from allow for us to paint the rooms and customize so long as we return it to how we got it when we got it. So that means let's paint a kitchen in the living room today, baby. This wall, and our kitchen are all going to be this pinkish shade of red, which is more pink than we originally intended, but I do believe with optical illusion and warm lighting, it'll look regular red. So the goal is to paint this accent wall in the kitchen red, and then I'm going to be retiling the floor with some peel and stick renter friendly checkered tile. We're going for a very diner pizzeria vibe in our kitchen. Along with, I'll be taking these peel and stick tiles that are black with gray grout, trimming them down and putting them there to cover up that kind of ugly 2010s vibe mosaic tiling that I'm just not a fan of. No sir. I don't know why there's a fuzzy on this, but I'm trimming these down 2 row by 2 row so they fit on that siding there. My kitchen is a disaster right now because we literally just moved in yesterday and haven't found spots for everything just yet, but we're prepping to paint. I'm just lining these up. They still have the protective film on them that I'll peel at the very end. But doesn't this just look a lot better? I have this ultra wide masking tape that I plan to mask off the entirety of the kitchen floor with and put on these checkered peel and stick tiles. But it is occurring to me that I did not get enough tiles, so I'm gonna order a couple more packs so they'll be on their way. Today is day 3 of living here. I am very sleepy, but it's time to paint, so I'm removing all of the little light switch covers and outlet covers right now. Outlets are out. I got as many out as I possibly could. And this is like the kitchen before we work on it. I'm gonna be taking some of this thick masking tape and masking off the floor before we put down our tiles. One strip down, whole kitchen to go. We're getting there slowly but surely, and maybe not perfect, but I think once the tiles are over top, you won't be able to tell that some of the tape is a little wrinkly. Here's our paint. It looks way more pink while it's wet, and we're hoping it dries a lot more red, especially with the warm lighting in here. We had to call the gas company because our oven was leaking gas. Neither of us have either had a gas stove before, but we knew the second that we got down on the ground and smelled gas, there was an issue. So we called the gas company, and they're out here fixing it. But I'm gonna start painting this wall because they're not gonna need this wall. We got a fan going, so it's kind of loud, but we finished up painting the living room. It's still a tiny bit tacky. It's gonna get more solid as it dries. Did this wall, did that wall. I gotta take the blue tape off the ceiling. And we're almost done with the kitchen. Brandon's just finishing up there, which is arguably the hardest part. I could not do it myself, so thank you, Brandon. Now I'm gonna start putting down the checkered flooring onto our masking taped off floor, so the floor underneath doesn't get damaged, yet I can still have a cute checkered floor, very diner vibes. And they literally peel and stick just like a sticker. There's like a backing, you peel it off and you just plop it down. You just peel and stick, and when it comes time to move out, whenever we decide to, we could just lift it up by this tape and it won't damage anything underneath. And we live on a hill, so not all the trims are going to be perfectly straight, but I'll just cut any of the blue so it isn't super noticeable as we lay things down. But I am trying my hardest to line the tiles up as perfectly as I can and deal with the asymmetry of the actual floor itself later. For now, I'm laying down the ones I can, and then the ones that I have to trim, I'm just leaning up where they should be, and I'll come back to them. It's looking good already. You literally just peel these, and I'm lining up the grain so it's all horizontal. I mean, it looks vertical because of where I'm sitting, but I'm really excited to see how this turns out with the red, because I love me a good checkered and red moment. As for decorating, I got these valances. They're probably not gonna stay on this window. They're more so for the living room. I just wanted to see what they look like. And I got this bird feeder set up, and they've already quite taken a liking to it. And look at how cool these curtain rods are. Half of our curtain rods are these, and then they sent us the wrong shipment, so we had to 3D print some swirls for our other set of curtain rods, but I'll show you guys that shortly. Guys, would you look at that? All my stuff is here, and we are slowly hi Brandon, getting all of our stuff out. I have no idea what he's saying right now, but that's our mattress, and I am so thrilled to be able to sleep on an actual mattress tonight because my back has been killing me. I haven't been the greatest with recording. Sorry, it has been an absolutely hectic last few days. We definitely have a little bit of beef to pick with the people who cleaned this house before we moved in, because it did smell like dog pee, and I don't have a dog. Brandon doesn't have a dog. I know distinctly what that smell is. So Brandon had to pressure wash the garage because that's where the smell is coming from. And we've gotten the smell to go away a good 98%. And then our gas was leaking underneath our stove. Like, if we were to hit any road bumps, it would 100% be those road bumps. And we hit them real hard. It set us back a couple days. But aside from that, there's been a lot of amazing things happening. I've met my neighbors. All of my neighbors are absolutely lovely. All of our most fragile things, like our giant bedroom mirror and our 2 TVs, made it in the pod safely. We did have a couple casualties, like cups and Brandon's neon sign. Like, things did break, but our largest and most expensive and hard to replace things did not break. So I'll be thankful where I can. Originally, this was just gonna be a video of us updating the living room and the kitchen, but I think I'm just gonna smash this all into one video, truly. Something I'm realizing that I need to work on as a YouTuber is whenever I'm stressed out and overstimulated, the last thing my mind goes to is to record. And this entire process of unpacking, like my entire house being a disaster of stuff that needs unpacked, I have been definitely more than stressed out and overwhelmed and sleep deprived, and my body hurts. With my connective tissue disorder, my chronic pain is off the wall. So what I've been doing is I unpack a box and then I lay on the floor, and then I unpack a box and then I lay on the floor, and then I can't do any of the heavy lifting. I can't lift dressers. I can't do any of that. I'm really grateful I have Brandon, and my dad came over to help move some of our dressers, but I would not be able to do any of that. Doing some of the small stuff has me absolutely wiped. So that's what I plan to be doing for the next couple days. It's taking way longer than I originally anticipated, and I keep getting overstimulated and not filming days, so I'm trying to do better with that. This is probably the roughest you guys have ever seen me, and probably the roughest I will ever feel for quite a bit of time. Aside from the tremendous mess that is everywhere of boxes being packed and unpacked and then repacked and then where's that thing I was looking for, it is actually looking very cute underneath all of this. This is my little coffee area, and I always get asked where I get my bigger pieces of furniture, and I don't really know how to respond when it's, I got this bookshelf when I was 3 years old, and I've spray painted it black easily like 5 times throughout my entire life. And I'm 24 now. So this piece of furniture is 21 years old. It is old enough to drink. It's way cheaper to do it that way, but vintage furniture is so fucking heavy and none of it ever breaks down. So be wary of that. This is looking so cute once I get everything put away and into its place and clean and everything. The star of the show, my cookie jars and my crock pot up there. This is my upstairs hallway, and this is kinda my bedroom. I mean, it is my bedroom. It's 100% my bedroom, but it is kind of a layout of what we're thinking of doing. Some things are subject to change, and my bed frame isn't even assembled yet. Aren't these curtains fucking beautiful, by the way? Very, very proud of them. Ignore that there's only one spiral on the curtain rod. I need to fix it. We come over here, we have another window, and this is a walk-in closet, but I plan to gut it and turn it into a little vanity room. Happy wife, happy life, am I right? But no, seriously, there is a missing light bulb in here, but I am turning this into a little vanity room for makeup videos and stuff. And here's our incredibly messy bathroom. Like, we're gonna, yeah, clean that. I'm gonna get my big ass mirror up on this wall. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Kind of messy right now, but you guys get the idea. And look at that ceiling, isn't that so cool? I don't even know, I lost count. I'm a fucking mess right now. Coffee. New pajamas. Did take a shower. Yes, I did. Be proud of me for that. Yesterday, though, as you can see by all of my Kesha-esque mascara and glitter, I left on from the day before. Probably would be due for another shower. Still in the midst of unpacking. But you know what I did yesterday? It was my mom's birthday, so we went to the Portland Shanghai tunnels. And I will post some short form content of that because I filmed it all vertically. I'm sorry, guys. But I'll insert it. Yeah. I moved back to the Pacific Northwest, and nothing is like enjoying spooky season in the very war-torn, ravaged Portland.
Portland, I don't know how anybody lives there.
So what is a girl to do other than the under Portland Shanghai tunnels, where allegedly ghost stuff happened?
You got Portland, you can die out there.
Portland is a city with a very rich history, and in light of me moving back to the Pacific Northwest and all of these recent inflammatory claims thrown against the city I love, today we're going to be doing a behind the scenes of the Shanghai Tunnel Tour, a well-known tourist attraction of Portland City, and giving a little background on what I think about the city and my personal experience living nearby. I actually did this tour a month ago, but I've been sitting on the footage for spooky season, and now just seems like the right time. The old Portland underground Shanghai tunnels were originally built in the mid-19th century as trading tunnels to go underneath businesses. A modern example would be as if there was a roadway system underground specifically for Amazon drivers or Door Dashers so they could avoid street traffic and get from point A to point B with their cargo much faster. I'm being so for real. Back in the day, Portland did not have a very good sewage system, so in order to keep cargo clean and make the travel time from boat to business faster, they built this tunnelway system underneath the city to avoid all that street traffic and potential sewage. Which definitely seems rather uneventful considering the reputation the Shanghai tunnels have garnered for themselves, and many Portlanders know that the narrative surrounding the Shanghai tunnels have been kind of twisted over the years. The act of Shanghaiing is kidnapping an unsuspecting victim, primarily a drunk man coming out of a bar, and forcing them into trade and slave labor amongst the ships. Now, usually they would tie them into lifelong contracts that would bind them to working on these ships until whatever time they are released, but realistically that did not really happen in these tunnels. That's more of a myth made up for tourist attraction reasons, but that's not to say creepy stuff didn't happen in these tunnels. What we do know is Portland has always been a city known for its nightlife and night scene, and unfortunately back in the day, the Shanghai tunnels or trade tunnels were attributed to a lot of red light district related activities. And that's where we run into our resident ghost, Nina. Nina's story is a tragic one at best, being a mother working the streets in order to provide for her child, who had been in talks with local ministry about leaving the industry, so long as she provided information that could help her leave the industry, because this was not a life she wanted to live for herself anymore. And given the leaking of this information, Nina was disappeared and found at the end of this elevator shaft located above Old Town Pizza, the very elevator shaft I am standing in. And I will say, standing in this elevator shaft where she passed such an untimely demise, it feels heavy. The air felt heavy. It felt heavy on my chest. I felt an intense sadness for Nina's story and a huge amount of empathy for a mother who was just trying to provide for her child and leave an industry that was no longer serving her. Nina's spirit is known to be non-aggressive, leaving behind a fragrance of perfume down in these tunnels. But there are more hostile and aggressive apparitions that are known to be down here. I'm assuming probably the men who either did this to her or did other not so tasteful things. The tour was super awesome. The guy really knew his stuff. He took us through multiple buildings and underground tunnels of the old Portland area, and he finished up the tour at an underground speakeasy for a local beer tasting, very Prohibition era style. Your tour ticket gives you one free drink, granted you're over 21, at the Old Town Pizza Parlor directly above. You know I went and got that drink, and it doesn't even have to be an alcoholic drink. It can be a non-alcoholic drink. And as for the city of Portland, I love that you guys can embrace the good, the bad, and the ugly of your history, and tell the tale for new people. This trip marked Brandon's first ever trip to Portland, and I felt like it was a really good opportunity for him to learn the history of the city in a really friendly and open environment. Portland is nowhere near the war ravaged city that you've read in an article recently, and the claims from our president really don't reflect this city. Every city has their own unique individual issues. Portland is not safe from that, but it's nowhere near as bad as this guy is making it out to be. You guys deserve to know that. I'm super happy to be back in the Pacific Northwest and excited to share more cool things with you guys because this was awesome. Love you guys. We saw that yesterday. It was very cool. Got some sushi. I still have so much unpacking to do. And like you never realize when you're packing and you have all the help from all your friends, like 6 people packing, it goes by quite a bit faster than me and Brandon just packing. And also I moved away from all those friends so they can't help me. This move is going to have like some serious repercussions on me because I feel like I'm fighting through a flare-up every single day, which I should not be doing. I absolutely should be resting, but moving is just so dysregulating. A lot of unpacking to do today. Let me run you guys over the updates. It's still a disaster, but I'm gonna distract you guys. They love the sliding glass door. This is definitely an upgrade from the trailer. The cats love this. None of our wall hangings are up because we don't have all of our furniture. And I don't want to do wall hangings until I have all the furniture in my room and I can kind of make judgments from that. Like my TV stand is arriving Thursday. Still have yet to get a couch. Still have yet to get a washer and dryer. But it's okay. We've been chilling on this little foam fold-out couch for a little bit and washing our clothes at my parents' house. When they do like home improvement shows, they never really show you the in-between. They're more focused on the great reveal, and there's so much in between. Our friends Brendan and Danielle, before we moved, got us these super cute Kuromi and My Melody figurines, and they actually sit really nicely on this shelf on each side of the wall right there. I have a tea set my grandma gave me some time back and a gun. No, I'm kidding. That is not a real gun. That's actually like a 1970s toy cap gun made completely out of metal. So it does look very real, and I can see why they don't make toy guns like this anymore. But it does have a very realistic look to it, but it is not real. I 100% promise it is a children's toy. All of my books. I have my like horror history books, a series I loved as a kid, My Sister the Vampire, ooh, a creepy cat, and arguably the scariest of it all, Goodnight Poon Poon. Yeah, that's an adult read, don't read it if you're a minor. Vanicula, their magazines are Gamer Girl magazines, and I'm obsessed with them. I recently just got their horror issue, which is that red one, but my international shipping absolutely demolished it. I have my game magazines over here. I have Dead Island and Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. I have some workbooks and coloring books down here, along with just like more miscellaneous books and manga. Quick pan of Brandon's room because he's working on something right now. So my room's looking a little better. Cute crooked curtain rod. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes left. And all of my clothes are up. These are all my tops, bottoms, and jackets, and no dresses. Across the hall, my dresses deserve their own little spotlight spot right next to my vanity room. I just love the way displayed dresses look, and sometimes all of my other clothes really take away from the beautiful details of dresses. That's not me glazing my own style in my clothes. Oh, my clothing are so beautiful. That's not what I'm trying to say. I just really love like when people highlight like nightgowns and dresses. I find that so pretty. As for the vanity area, we got my actual vanity up here in this super cute chair that Brandon found on Facebook Marketplace back at our old place. but I really hate these wire racks. I don't know why every pre-built home comes with these wire racks. I have broken way too many of them to know that they just kind of suck. I'm gonna be taking them down and putting them storage in my garage, so when we move out we can just reinstall them like so. I have some of my own little shelving units that I want to install in here that are like cutesy and heartsy on top of this very Victoria's Secret-esque shower curtain I'm gonna be putting up. Brandon got the shelving units all out of the walls, so I'm gonna go in with this pink and white striped shower curtain and just tack it up along these 3 walls. And here it is with the shower curtains, except it stops a little early, but it's okay because I have some tall skinny stuff that might work right here. It's a day later and I've been just kind of doing these little check-ins, but this is the progress on the vanity. I added a little black curtain, and when you walk inside, I did move the vanity to this side of the wall, which I know is not pretty. Well, not as pretty as it was on the main wall, but when I put the vanity on the main wall, it felt like I didn't really have much space to move around. This is just more space effective considering this is just a walk-in closet. Also, I do have a Coraline type attic door above my vanity. I have no idea where it goes, but I know there's probably fiberglass up there. So some things are just kind of better left unknown. In the corner where the shower curtains stop, I've been putting stuff. Here are my original Barbie princess doll collection. I got Fairytopia, my childhood Erica, Annalise, Serafina, Wolfie, Nutcracker, Rapunzel, more Fairytopia and 12 Dancing Princesses, and down here is Swan Lake. As much as I am a Monster High girl, what will come first and always came first was Barbie princess movies. I just love the nostalgia they give me, so I have a little collection of these aside from all my Monster High dolls. Got some more stuff up in the bedroom queue. I only have one plugged in so far because I haven't figured out a box for this one yet. Yesterday we picked out our secondhand washer and dryer for 550 bucks, which is still a little high. I desperately need a washer and dryer. I cannot keep I'm running out of underpants. And I keep having to do laundry at my parents' house. So we picked out our washer and dryer. They should be delivered sometime in the next couple days. The couch situation's been hard because we got to rent a U-Haul or it's got to fit in the minivan. And the size of couch we want probably won't fit in the minivan. So we got to rent a truck. Yeah. Couch situation's been hard. I could order a couch, but you know, ordering couches online, Brandon and I have done that. In our early 20s, we ordered a couch online, way smaller than we had thought it would be, and way less comfortable. It literally was like cardboard. If I were to compare myself to anyone, it would be the neurotic wife from Beetlejuice who moved into the older house and was like, I need to change everything or I'm gonna lose my marbles. Her and Samantha Winchester, the wife of the Winchester house, who up until her death was apparently trying to escape spirits by rearranging and building endless doors and things to her house. Like, girl, mood, because I'm constantly rearranging my house too. But I love my beautiful princess pastel goth moment, and that my husband really has no preference. He's just happy to have a cozy bed. So he sleeps in a princess bed every night. Yes, he does. I don't even know. Today is shelf day. I had Brandon put up a bunch of shelves and the house is finally coming together because I'm able to put away my Monster High dolls. Also, we finally got a TV stand. Brandon's assembling it now. I have my real drama dolls up here. Elvira, Frankenstein, and Dracula. And then I have like a little picture and taxidermy and mirror wall going on. So I definitely prioritized one room, and that is this room. Y'all, my vanity room is done. This is the only room in the house that is done. And it is because it is just a walk-in closet. But I finalized it. I think I went for Victoria's Secret Y2K pink Juicy Couture. All my nail and hair accessories. I have some of Brandon's stuff in here. Lots of Draculaura, lots of Kuromi, lots of My Melody, Sanrio, Pastel Goth. That picture is from the day me and Brandon met each other in real life. He took the picture because I was modeling and he was a photographer at the studio. This is Baby Salem. That's me at a park. I only really have it here because the cherry blossom theme matches out here's cherry blossom theme. But it is just a closet that has closet lighting. So let's get some ambient lighting in here. Oh, boom. And that's not all. That's not all. No, no. Boom. Now let me turn off that ugly overhead light and you guys can really get the full experience. I really wanted to go for like a mix of a Victoria's Secret like dressing room, like a showgirl dressing room. This Victoria's Secret early 2000s snow globe is truly my biggest inspiration for this room. Hold on. It plays Levy and Rose and it is an official Victoria's Secret snow globe. It's a pink vanity with perfumes and it looks like almost Barbie-esque from the front, kind of wholesome, but when you flip it around there's like bras and lingerie and shopping and heels and boxes. Like showcases how messy a vanity can really look when you're that girl. I saw this on Facebook Marketplace and I asked the Facebook Marketplace seller if they'd be able to ship and she said no. So then I spent maybe 2 months hunting it down on eBay for a decent price and I fell in love with it, truly. I just love it. It like encapsulates messy girlhood so much. I got that up on my vanity here in its own little special spot. Along with another favorite of mine, when Brandon and I first got together, I was showing him vintage Sanrio things I really wanted. And I fell in love with this little teapot. And Brandon got it for me. Just to say I'm pretty much finished with my vanity, but I will do a final little walkthrough towards the end. Update since the last time you guys saw my room. We got these shower curtains up on the background of just 2 walls this time. I don't want to do my entire room. I just wanted an accent walls. Pegboards up. And IKEA did release a pink pegboard recently, but this is not it. This is actually my black pegboard that we spray painted pink, which I assume will probably get scratched up over time. So I'm letting it cure a little bit more before I put anything on it. And this is like very chaotic corner, but I will go more in depth and make my dolls and my stuffed animals look nice at a different time. And my sewing stuff, I'm actually gonna sew some curtains right now to fit my bathroom windows because my bathroom windows are tiny. So it's coming along. It's definitely not the cutest this very second, but it'll get cuter as I add more stuff. I'm still figuring out the lighting situation. Like right now you guys are just kind of sitting on a lamp and I'm not really loving the lighting in here, but I'll figure that out eventually. So I am officially like 2.5 weeks into living here, and let's just say we've hit every single road bump and hiccup we possibly could. Of course, we are still unpacking some. I think it's just gonna take some time, but the majority of the house is unpacked. So as for like the behind the scenes of the reveal of the house, I think I've shown you guys pretty much good glimpses of every part of the house. I am just gonna check in here at the end and show you guys the final result, because for me, paying attention to actually recording during all of these unpacking and like kind of crafty moments, like I sewed some curtains, completely forgot to film myself sewing the curtains. It's just been very hard for me to reliably think about recording while being so stressed because my entire house was in shambles. So I'm really excited to give you guys more of the final result. Looking out my window right now to an apple tree, a little mind-boggling. Let me show you guys. Let's zoom in a little closely. Yes, apple tree right outside my window. I feel like Snow White. I don't know, like that just feels so mystical, magical. One thing about Washington State that I don't really see many people talk about is the abundance of female fruit trees quite literally everywhere. I love trinkets. I'm a big trinket lover, but this move has made me realize that I collected just kind of way too many trinkets. I really did fall victim to consumerism, especially with Monster High dolls. I sold off half of my collection. Like, yes, it still seems like I have a lot, but at one point I had more. And I'm just getting older and realizing, like, you know, I don't need to be an entire I don't need an entire collection to collect something. I only really need what can fit in my house, and going past that, it makes me feel icky. My great grandmother was a hoarder, R.I.P. Elvira, but her house was terrible growing up, and it really kind of shaped me as the adult now, where I love excess, I love cuteness, I love making my house feel like my home, but I also am getting better at recognizing when, like, hey, my collection's gotten a little too big, I need to tone it back, let's sell some stuff. And this move entirely, I have a lot less stuff before. One thing I am, RIP, I miss it so much, my curio cabinets in my living room. We could not take them with us because they were so, you know, old and fragile. I really did not see them surviving the move across country, but they went to a family that loves them dearly, my friends Brendan and Danielle, so I'm happy to see what they're gonna do with them because they just bought a house. Also, my CRTV, my beloved CRTV. Yes, I had to part ways with it. It was just too big and too bulky and could not fit in the pods very well. I couldn't trust that it would be shipped and not end up broken, and CRTs are scary because they can explode. So I will be getting a new CRT and more than likely painting it pink as well. I mean, you guys know me. It's gonna be smaller. I want a smaller one. I love the smaller, more vintage ones that have the DVD and VCR players built in. They are more expensive, but I'm a firm believer in, if I'm gonna look for something, I manifest it, it'll come to me. Not even in a spiritual way, but if I look up like a CRT on Facebook Marketplace 6 months down the line, I will find the perfect one on Facebook Marketplace. There are little fruit flies, quite a bit in Washington. They're a little annoying. I will find the dream CRTV. I will paint it pink, but that is for a different time and a different day, and I need to figure out where I'm gonna set it up. So reflecting on these last couple weeks of unpacking, there's been a lot of highs and a lot of lows. I think you guys could have guessed this about me, but I am neurodivergent. I am not a neurotypical person, and straying away from routine has been the biggest exposure therapy for me. Being able to free up and get rid of clutter and start anew and love my new place, and like my old gaming setup was just a bit overstimulating with how much of my collections I had everywhere, and downsizing and being able to clear up some airspace has been quite nice. Things that make you happy as an adult. We got a washer and dryer. I guess that place has been there for forever, but it is like in the back of a warehouse district, and they take old furniture and old appliances and restore them and sell them. So that's where we got a washer and dryer. You guys know I don't have money to buy a new washer and dryer. What the hell? Me and Brandon got Facebook Marketplace washer and dryers last time for $200. Pretty good deal if I would say myself. But that washer and dryer had so many issues that it was almost just, I would rather pay the extra couple $100 for a different used washer and dryer that has been inspected by a guy who knows his shit, and not just me on Facebook Marketplace meandering and lowballing people, as much as I love to. Guys, we have a win today. Our couch finally came in the mail. In the future, I want a chair here, some kind of smaller love seat, but for now, my blanket rack with all my plushy blankets on it is perfectly fine. And we got our couch. We got a couch. I already covered it in black fluffy blankets because, you know, a certain little guy loves to tear up couches, so does his siblings. It's so nice to actually have a couch featuring ear biscuits. Good mythical morning, of course. First, really good rain of Washington. My front yard is littered with apples. I live underneath an apple tree, and then fermenting fruit does not smell very good. That is Washington, all right. Let's see if there's any apples. Okay, I'm coming to you guys a few days in reflection. So if I don't seem extremely emotional talking about this, it's because I've already ran through quite a few of the emotions the last couple days of unpacking. But one of my friends died. I guess for a little context, when I was in high school, I helped work on a indie horror film, but I did meet a lot of really amazing people on that set. Like everybody I worked with, aside from choice few, were like really great people, and one of those great people was an incredibly talented young actor, my friend Calhoun. And when I say incredibly talented, like this actor at 16, 17 was in Law & Order SVU. So they obviously honed in their skill set at a very young age. Calhoun was incredibly talented in their craft and had a very, very bright future. And Calhoun unfortunately passed. Calhoun was an incredibly talented and awesome person. It really sucks to see them go. And I've been very like in my brain about it and introspective the last few days because of it. And if anything I'm gonna take away from it, I'll be honest, during this unpacking time period, it's been very dysregulating. And I've had moments of like, I have to finish up all of this unpacking stuff and changing my life so much, and then jump right back into the swing of editing for YouTube. And that just doesn't seem super appealing right now, although YouTube is the thing that I want to do most. And then Calhoun passed, and we are left with all of Calhoun's amazing work they left behind. And that really made me realize all an artist leaves behind is the work that they cared the most about. So I guess that's the thing that I gotta focus on. It's a kind of a grim way to look at it, but it's a very true statement. Is all an artist, all a creator, all a whatever, all they have left after they pass is the work that they've worked on. And let me just say, like, as somber and as nihilistic, it also was a little inspiring because it got me to want to get back on editing videos in YouTube. It really snapped me out of that funk of, ooh, I don't want to get back into editing, I hate editing, when it's like, no, what I want more than anything is to work on my craft and hone in my craft. All of the respect and love to Calhoun's family. They're gonna be very, very much so missed because they were so loved on set. Genuinely one of the coolest people I've ever met, and their legacy is going to continue to inspire me on into my future life and my future work. Did I wake you? I'm sorry. Hi. Oh, you're just stunning. Oh, you're beautiful. Yeah. And just when this video was heavy enough in the time that it's taken me to edit this video, I did lose another friend to cancer, unfortunately. Erica was a girl I went to high school with, and she was an absolute ball of light. I cannot explain it, but she lit up every room she was in. The most happy-go-lucky, nicest, sweetest person you'd ever meet. And now the world has a Calhoun and Erica shaped hole in its heart, and losing two friends in such a short period amount of time has been hard, and I wouldn't feel right mentioning one and not the other with how close their passings were. So I just want to say all the love, thoughts, prayers to both of their families, and we're gonna miss them so dearly. I really did not anticipate a simple house tour video to get as deep and as heavy as it did, but I needed to pay my respects where it's due, and it's been kind of a heavy last couple months for me. But I really need to wrap up this video, so let's get into our final thoughts and final showing of the house. Somebody's gonna ask, isn't it counterintuitive to move to a house with stairs if I'm struggling with my hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome? And probably yeah. I mean, the rental housing market's kind of limited out here, and I'm fortunate enough, as for this staircase, it might look complex, but it's one of the more easier to traverse staircases that I've lived with, as it's got really wide steps and they're fully carpeted in that little middle plateau area if I need to sit and rest in between. I've already had to do this once while living here, as unboxing, I really fucked up and dislocated my hip, so I did scoot up the stairs, and you know what, it was manageable, maybe not the most ideal, but it worked. How was the house tour? Changed into my pajamas. One of those Vanity Fair sets that I have on my door. I am just now realizing. Hello, twin. This is actually very heavy. I should not be lifting this. Oh. Hypermobility makes it harder for me to lift heavy stuff like that. Yeah, twinning with that white pumpkin. But that was the house tour. I wish I would have recorded more of me working on the house while like moving in and unpacking. I really hate the narrative that people who rent their homes are not as entitled to customizing their home as somebody who owns their house. I understand owning a house is better than renting in a lot of ways, and you have the ability to customize quite literally anything when it's your house, but I am really grateful to live in a rental society place that doesn't care if we paint the walls or do small renovations so long as we return it to how it was when we got it. I'm just really grateful that I have that opportunity to splurge on a $40 bucket of paint and completely change the way my living space looks. And I'm also really fortunate that living in the Midwest, my husband and I had access to Facebook Marketplace and could antique so much cool stuff over many years and paint it black. Like, I acknowledge I'm very privileged to have a lot of like spooky and cool antique alternative furniture that it's just been like a labor of love that I've been accumulating for many years. I've had an idea in mind of what I wanted to do for my house, and I'm really happy to execute it. Interior design is honestly my second biggest passion outside of like computer building, obviously. Is if somebody super rich and famous wanted a goth house and needed to hire an interior designer, oh my god, like they have like an endless budget. That's like my dream job right there. I love spooky interior homes, but also mixing it with softer aesthetics, like how my bedroom is. Pastel goth, Y2K, early 2000s, Victoria's Secret. But down here it gives like cozy Italian diner mixed with spooky horror motifs. Interior design is something I take very seriously, and I think renters should be able to enjoy their environment just as much as somebody who owns their home. And there are benefits to renting too. No doubt, I have like maintenance on dial-up for whenever something is mildly broken, and I don't have to pay for any of it. Like realistically, if I were to have some big catastrophic house issue and I owned this house, I wouldn't be able to afford having to fix something that out here, since I'm renting, maintenance can just come fix. So far, I've really enjoyed living here. Happy my environment finally reflects that, because for a while there, Brandon and I really were living out of boxes, and it felt like a setup house that people set up for a viewing where it was just furniture, but it didn't feel lived in at all. It kind of felt very staged. Now my house feels so lived in, so cozy, and my nervous system can finally relax. Like, this is so cozy. What? I love having an environment that I just feel really comfortable in, and I feel very, very privileged to be here. So that was kind of like the little tour of the house. I wish I would have recorded more of me actually doing like the DIY portions of working on these rooms. I was just very overwhelmed with living out of boxes, so then I would really lock in and unpack quite a bit and decorate quite a bit, and then realize, oh crap, I was not filming. So the process is a little shaky, but I'm here at the end of it very happy. I'm yapping, I'm rambling, and I'm very tired, y'all. So I'm gonna go get exporting all this footage and head to bed. I love you guys, thank you for everything, and like, subscribe, and comment so I can continue paying rent on this place. I'm joking, but only a little bit, because I am on the creator fund. I'm delirious and sleep deprived. I'm going to bed. I love you guys. Bye.